Somerset School Committee and the Somerset Berkeley Regional School Committee on this Thursday, March 17, 2022, 6 p.m. Due notice having been posted. We are at Somerset Berkeley Regional High School Library. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that any such recordings or transmissions may be made whether perceived or unperceived by those present. We have SATV Channel 15 with us this evening, and this will be rebroadcast throughout the next few weeks. Roll call of members present. Mr. Machado?
Present.
Mr. Gaudet? Here. Mr. Gaub?
Here.
Ms. Gary?
Here.
Chair Mike McDonald is here. We also have with us this evening Superintendent of Schools Jeffrey Schoonover, Director of Business and Finance Ronald Taro, Director of Curriculum Elizabeth Haskell, Director of Special Education Megan Ashton. We also have Administrative Assistant Robin Vaccaro.
I'd like to call in for the Somerset Berkeley Regional Committee meeting to order. Meetings have been posted pursuant to the meeting law and posted in the audio video recording of this public meeting. May transmit the meeting to any meeting. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions may be made whether received or unreceived. Roll call members. Ms. Andrews.
Here.
Mr. Dahl.
Here.
Mrs. Gagliardi.
Here.
Mr. Machado.
Here.
Mr. Pierce.
Here.
Ms. Vincent.
Here.
I will transfer it here as well. Administrative directors of superintendent directors of the Please join me with that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up is I will entertain a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A2. Conduct strategy in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. Director of Business and Finance, Ronald Taro. Director of Special Education, Megan Ashton. The committee will return back in open session. That's my motion.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Godoy, second by Mr. Machado. Roll call vote. Mr. Machado?
Aye.
Mr. Gaudet?
Here.
Mr. Gaub?
Yes.
Ms. Gary?
Yes.
And I, Mike McDonald, chair votes aye.
Okay, on behalf of the Somerset Berkeley Regional Committee, an executive session for example, pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 22, conduct strategy in preparation and negotiation with non-union personnel, conduct collective bargaining sessions for contract negotiations with non-union personnel. Director of Business and Finance, Ronald Taro, Director of Special Education, Megan Ashton.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we will return to open session. Ms. Andrews.
Aye.
Mr. Dahl.
Aye.
Mrs. Gagliardi.
Aye.
Mr. Machado.
Aye.
Mr. Pierce.
Aye.
Ms. Vincent.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
First thing on new business is our wellness plan update. Ms. Haskins.
Thank you. So I am the chairperson of the Wellness Council, and in just a moment when this runs up, you'll be able to see the members of the Wellness Council. You addition, we're working really hard to ensure that all of our plans are aligned, including our school improvement plan. And so you're going to see some things that look familiar to you because we've been talking about them a lot in both districts. So again, some of this is review. We already talked about it earlier this year, but as part of our wellness council, we have these, and part of our wellness plan and policy, we have these different areas, including cultural proficiency, school food and nutrition promotion, comprehensive physical activity, physical education and health education, healthy school environment, safe and SEL supportive schools, health services, and staff wellness. So what we have chosen to do is in each of these categories, we have actually created some mini teams. So people who are on the Wellness Council have chosen which team or teams they'd like to be part of. And so the Wellness Council is required to meet 4 times a year, but our mini teams are meeting in between and doing some of the work for each of these different areas. So what I'm going to do now this evening is I'm going to go through all of the SMART goals that we have created for each of these areas. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the action steps that we have in place and the progress that we've made so far. And actually we are scheduled for our next meeting the first week in April. So you can see over on the left-hand side, that is the mini team, and over on the right-hand side, that is the SMART goal for this year. So we are working to build cultural proficiency and awareness in Somerset and Somerset Berkeley Regional School Districts. We have created a diversity, equity, and inclusion team. It has consisted primarily of Mr. Schoonover, who heads the team, Kim DeCudo, who is the assistant principal here at Somerset Berkeley, and myself. We have been working together with a teacher here at the high school, a couple of other principals, and we're really talking about what does it mean to be a culturally proficient school district. And we have begun with this smaller team and really focused work. And then our next steps are going to be to expand to our full leadership team and then expand further to our students, our faculty and staff, and how can we include and connect with our community. Actually, we just met, was it yesterday? Okay. We just met yesterday. It was actually a really fascinating and interesting meeting because we have some of those strands already beginning work almost on a parallel. So here at the high school, during Blue Raider block, Mrs. DeCudo has invited some kids to come and talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And kids are so thoughtful and insightful. I neglected to include, I just have a parent on the team, and she has done some work with equity circles, and she adds a lot of insight and perspective. And so we have talked about how we might bring her in to do some work with students and with our faculty and staff. We have created a list of some books that we might like to do some book studies on, some speakers that we might like to bring in and work with us in terms of professional learning, but also to talk to kids. And so it has been the beginning of our journey, and we're looking forward to what it's going to look like as we move forward. School food and nutrition promotion, we are working to increase student voice and choice in the cafeteria. That is something that had already started here at Somerset Berkeley Regional High School with Jason Morency and his team, and we have expanded it. Mr. Schaefer, the assistant principal at Somerset Middle School, has worked with Jason, and they have started to work with kids. It began last spring and has continued into the fall because kids have some pretty clear opinions about what they think about food and what they're offering in the cafeteria. And so it has been a really nice partnership, and we will continue to do that and expand it. And we have also been working with our started talking to our elementary principals about how we might include elementary students also to give them some voice and choice in what they can eat in the cafeteria. And we want it to be healthy, right? We're looking to really promote that wellness piece of it and making good choices. And there's also an opportunity for our health teachers to work with Jason Morency in terms of, the rainbow on your plate and how we can, enjoy foods even when they're healthy for us. So, comprehensive physical activity, physical education, and health education. They're really kind of melded them together because that is how our K-12 team works. They are working to review and update the health curriculum K through 12. So the high school is actually in a really good place in terms of being in working order. As you may remember, NEASC is coming in for a visit the first week in April, and so they have been working really hard to really update where we are, to do an inventory, and to also identify maybe some areas that we might like to talk more about or include in our health curriculum and the SEL pieces of this also. Yesterday was an early release day at the elementary, and I got to work with our specialists, including the health and visit team. And so we have also been talking about the health curriculum and some of the resources that they may need. Actually, K through 12, there have been some resources that I have shared, and they are reviewing. I think actually Mr. Taro and I talked about the possibility of going ahead and bringing some of those resources in and updating for our teachers. Healthy school environment. I have had the opportunity to work with Mr. Alves and Mr. Taro, also Mr. Campos before he retired, and we want to make sure that we are constantly updating when we are making healthy updates in our schools in terms of the facilities, and so one of the things in terms of the example that I'm putting up is COVID and some of the air filters. Those would be some of the things that we want to make sure that we're updating the community and putting it on the website. So when you visit our website, the wellness piece of it, you'll be able to reference some of the work that we are doing because we are constantly ensuring that our students and our staff are safe as they learn. Safe and SEL supportive schools. We are using universal social emotional screener at the K-8. We're using the DESA screener and the data to provide ongoing SEL supports to students. We are also researching at the high school level what we might use. We have a variety of options, and so we're in a little bit of a different place because we piloted the DESA screener at the elementary first last year. And so this is the first year for the middle school, the second year for the elementary, and we're still in that research phase at the high school. And so we really want to make sure that we are providing the supports that kids need on an ongoing basis, and this screener is helping us do that. So I did two at a time. There are two different boxes. Health services, implement COVID test and stay in Somerset Berkeley Regional School District. So that was our original. We have made an adjustment. Things happen so quickly. So we were in really good shape, and we had test and stay up and running, and we had met that goal. And as you know, we are no longer wearing masks, and test and stay is no longer what we are doing. But I kept it there on purpose because I wanted to celebrate our success. So our team, as you know, our team of nurses worked really hard, and I think that it is so worthy of celebrating that success. And I probably should have mentioned that in terms of the DESA screener also. I mean, it's March, and I know, it's a school year, but there's a lot happening all at once, and for us to be able to make such progress and do good things for kids and for our staff is really exciting, and we're grateful for all their work. And then staff wellness. Create a means by which to support staff physical and social emotional wellness in a concrete and meaningful way. So we are trying to create some opportunities for staff to maybe work out after school. One of the things, we actually were at a building committee meeting this morning, and one of the things that was mentioned was maybe some, pickup basketball after school. Those were things that used to happen more often, and so we would like to do some of those things. partnerships with, area facilities, maybe the YMCA. And so we also have some staff who offer things at the schools, mindfulness and yoga. And so they might offer it before school so that teachers and staff can come and participate and start their day feeling home and, moving forward. So those are things that we would like to continue to cultivate and expand. You're okay. Any questions?
So the next meeting you said of the council is in April.
First week in April.
So do you intend, and that is the second meeting of the council this year?
I believe it's the third.
It is a third. So will you look to, you've kind of given us an update on everything. Does the committee change at the end of the cycle? Do they look at what progress has been made over the whole 12 months and then kind of come up with new goals? It almost seems like as you said, a year is a short time.
Right. So what we're going to do at our next meeting, we will, it'll be like quick hit any progress that we have made, and the mini teams are working to create some drafts of what they might like their SMART goals to be for next year. So we are, they're again, kind of running on parallels, working on the work that we have for this year, but also thinking ahead, especially, when we are hitting some of the goals already and we're meeting those action steps, what are the logical next steps related to this category? And for some of them, truth be told, we may not complete that goal. We are making progress toward it. We're happy with that. And then, there may be a repeat of, one of these, or it may be, we've identified, for example, a screener for the high school, and then maybe next year, the next logical step would be that implementation, that rollout for this year. So those are some of the things that we're trying to be mindful of and to look ahead. We're also trying to make it, so SMART goals are supposed to be attainable. That is the A. And so sometimes, we have to really be mindful of, okay, that sounds like maybe a bigger, a bigger project or a bigger focus. So we are, talk about some of those things. There's one more thing I wanted to mention, and I'm sorry I neglected to do that in terms of the staff wellness, but also there's some professional development that we have looked at for mental health first aid. And so we are looking to offer that this spring or maybe in the summer. And that was something that was very high interest, and especially post-COVID, and really trying to help kids to manage some of their emotions or some of their feelings, or recognizing when a student is struggling. So that is something that we have reached out and looked at how we might be able to offer that.
I'm so glad you said that, because I wrote that down before you even said that. I was hoping to see the two words mental health up there.
I must have got your mental vibe.
You did. However, everything just funnels into them, because when you do all those things that are there, we all know you feel good about yourself, and at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. Even though I don't see those two words there, and then you go and out yourself, that's good. They're all tied together.
It does.
I just want to say that I think that it really incorporates a little of everything. Students and staff and the COVID piece, I just kind of incorporates everything. And I'm actually interested to see if maybe like we talked in our last meeting about teachers being bullied and that kind of social media. Maybe that can get moving, so we can put in teachers' brains, how can we support them better while they're dealing with that? And how can they support each other? Friends are the best kind of people to have around who are going through that stuff. But it really touches on everything. My son's a big supporter of the Peace Club making his own lunch. He said the two lines had different breadsticks this week, and he got the ones that he didn't want, but the other side had the good ones. We went and got them. He's like, you don't mind when I got you lunches and everything. So I think it's great. I think it's very interesting. It's really a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. You guys put a lot of time into it. So it's great.
We have a great team.
Yeah.
We
discussed that he's going to be moderating. We're going to have just one spokesman, and then we'll go on to both committees for further comments. But Mr. Pessemaker will take the lead on this. So, Mr. Pessemaker, you're up.
Okay, well, I know that everyone received this at their spot today, so we just, have a chance to look it over. The Schoonover's office will use for the first time. I guess first I'll go through the process. Anyone who sees a miss, let me know if I missed anything. But as the process goes, goals were established by the superintendent, Chuck Shoes, and members of the committee sometime ago, a year ago. And so with those goals, an evaluation sheet was developed. And this is a evaluation we used. So evaluation had the goals set up, and then the superintendent had an opportunity to, at the end of this evaluation, to reflect on his progress towards the goals and lay those out for the committees to review. So the committees had, for this evaluation, each evaluation was done independently, and then they were aggregated into one summary evaluation document, which is what we have here. So what I thought we might do is just kind of walk through the evaluation kind of page by page, and then folks can let me know, maybe we'll have a couple of, this includes comments also from committee members who do the evaluation. So we have 10 evaluations that were so I'll start by saying I wish I was at the receiving end of the evaluation of this. But Mr. Schoonover has done a great job here, and I think it's really important to have the evaluation. So step one in this process step one is assessing the progress towards goals. And in doing this, there are 6 categories actually that you can have for doing this, for getting progress towards your goals. So the goals are professional practice goals. And in this case here, the votes were, we've got a total of 10 votes. 1 vote for significant progress, 7 for met, 2 for exceeded expectations. Student learning goals, similar, significant progress from 3, met, and the second was met the goals at 7 votes. And the last one is district improvement goals. In this case here, significant progress was 2, and met the expectation. Moving on to, we'll get into more detail on some of these things later on. But the second is assessing performance on standards. And these were, similar votes. So we had a standard 1, which is instructional leadership, 8 proficient, 2 exemplary. Exemplaries are, you'll hear a few of those here. And they're not typical, but it's just showing how much they're involved. Management and operations, 7 proficient, 3 family and community engagement, 9 proficient, 1 exemplary, and professional culture, which was 5 proficient, exemplary. And then we get into the comments, and in some cases are 8 to 10 comments, and these are comments from the committee members. But I thought rather than go through all this dialogue, I'm going to try to highlight some of the things that seem to be common threads, and if I miss something, please let me know. Okay. This is step 3 of the process. So, and on the summary of this section, there are 7 proficient. So comments that seem to be kind of common to a lot of them, and again, let me know if there's something that you think is significant enough. But developed a strong administrative team, exceptional demeanors operating not one but two school districts which during the pandemic warrant all the rates of exposure. Except for, get that, efforts to date are more than simply checking a box. They show sincere, thoughtful, and effective steps towards truly moving the district in the right direction. Focus on improving teaching, learning, student achievement, and their social emotional needs. So this is kind of a sample of some of the comments. Everyone good to keep going? Next up, we have the superintendent's goals. The first one is a professional practice goal, and this is really was on effective principal supervision in that category. Significant progress two, met the expectations six, exceeded on two evaluations. District improvement goal, strategic planning, was a multi-year strategic plan which the district establishes strategic goals to guide each district through the continuous improvement process. In this one here, there was 7 significant progress to be met. Effective communication, providing timely information engagement with student community and school district programs. Met the expectations of sheet 7. Exceeded improvement. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. There was a 5 significant progress, 5 on goal for social and emotional learning. By December 31st, we'll have developed SBR plan that includes adoption of communication and SBR framework, professional development, adopting staff, applies to what we started with tonight. And this one here, significant progress and met expectation set. The next section gets into standards and indicators for effective administrative leadership. And this one here we have on evaluation. Evaluations ensure effective and timely supervision and evaluation of all staff in line with state regulations and federal provisions. In this case here, it was a
Was it unanimous?
yes, on a pass for all those. Data for decision making using multiple sources of data evidence related to student learning. This one here, efficient was 8 and exemplary was 2. Overall rating for student leadership, instructional leadership. Overall was an 8 proficient and 2 exemplary. And then in the comments, just to note a few of them, positive work environment. One of the strengths is use of data to inform all decisions. Integration approach over several years has been widely adopted by the staff as well. It had a positive impact on the schools and the students. Okay. Next up are the superintendent's performance ratings for standard 2 management and operations. And in this one here, we have the environment, develops and executes effective plans, procedures, routines, and push operation equipment to address the whole range of safety, health, emotional, and social needs. So in this category here, proficient for 6, exemplary for 4. Overall standards, financial operations, the education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students, and the success of all staff by ensuring safe, efficient, effective learning environment, using resources and appropriate staffing going over work tirelessly throughout the entire 2 years to ensure policies and routines were just communicated with staff, students, and safety as a priority. So that's kind of stuff that's on this topic. Next step is the superintendent's performance rating, standard 3 during engagement. Engagement activity ensures that all families are welcome members of the classroom and school community and contribute to the effectiveness of the classroom, school district, and community. 8, promotes efficient teaching, for example. Communication engages in regular 2-way culturally proficient communication with families and community stakeholders about student learning performance. Again, proficient 8, example 2. The overall rating for this category was 9, proficient 1. Some of the comments that were included. The superintendent and district continues to reach out to families via various newsletter service and social media. Quote, has not allowed the person-to-person forums and group actions, outreaches, and discussion. Superintendent played a major role to make sure the community had a say in the number of forums, whether to decide, build, renovate Somerset Middle School. Jeff does a great job making himself available and engaging the community. He works with families, community organizations, and all stakeholders. There was one comment here about timely communication with the school members and the last one I have in this section is open door policy allows families to reach out with issues that affected their child. He listens and he goes above and beyond to address the issues and yet it's directly. So, next up we have superintendent's performance rating versus standard for professional culture. Cultural proficiency ensures the policies and best practices enable staff members and students to interact effectively in a culturally diverse environment in which students' backgrounds, identities, strengths, and responsibilities are proficient 9, exemplary 1. Communication demonstrates strong interpersonal written and verbal communication skills. 6, proficient 4, exemplary. one of the things that I saw as kind of a common thread in a lot of the answers to a lot of things was, we did all these great things during the pandemic, which is and I think that's what kind of pushes it from a lot of pieces to that higher level evaluation. So, mention that, I don't know, members have any comments, or members have any
I'd like to start with a few comments and then pass on to community members. I mean, back in spring of 2020, we talked about, we're building a plane during the pandemic. We started. We kind of didn't know where we were going at the time because we were building the plane. But it's safe enough to say the plane is landing. And we're all safe. And, Superintendent, I loved reading your evaluation today. I had some time to read it. I had to read it twice again because there's so many good comments in there. You're just an excellent communicator. When it all goes back to you, you're an excellent communicator. And when I looked at, even though you took us through the pandemic, you would never even known that there was a pandemic. Teaching and learning still went on. We know the last 3 months of the school year, 2019-20, were rough for everybody, for the whole country. But you took us to another level, and I thank you for that. And you have a calming effect about you. You make everyone feel welcome. And that's important. You make everyone feel comfortable, and I think there was a comment out there about the open door policy, which I knew you always have. In 2014, you were the right person then to steer the ship of the school districts. And here we are in 2022, and you continue to be the right person. And we are fortunate to have you till whenever the next 5 years start, 2021. Thank you. That's all I can tell you is thank you very much. And I know it's my last meeting tonight, but it was a fantastic pleasure working with you. So thank you. Anyone else?
I'll just say, for the public's sake, this is a very interesting process. It's my first time doing this, but there's a lot of exemplary check marks on this, and that is considered indicates that practice significantly exceeds proficient. It could serve as a model of practice regionally or statewide, and I think that really sums up your service here, especially in the last 2 years. Obviously, we see what happens. We see every other school district, kind of what they were doing, how things were unfolding, and you pivoted at all the right times, and it was constant. Ms. Haskell said tonight, one of their goals, they have this big goal, and now it's gone. So everything changed fast, a lot, and the news didn't even know what was going on. But somehow you kept everyone in school, online or in person, and didn't lower the standard of education in our town. And we're all appreciative. And I think that your evaluation is very well deserved, and I would certainly say that you are that you could serve as a model, statewide or regional. Absolutely.
One thing just to note is the amount of new school committee members you've had in the last couple of years. On the pre-K through 8 side, the last person to run for re-election is Victor. And before that, the last person to run for re-election was Victor. Mike, Chris, Sean, and myself, I know I called you constantly with all these great ideas they had. And they were all great ideas, but unfortunately, you had the displeasure of telling me why they wouldn't work, why we tried this before. And unfortunately for you, as Mike and Chris are leaving, you're going to get 2 new ones next year again. And it's a challenge for you as a superintendent to get us up to speed. And I appreciate you taking time with me and taking all my calls and listening to my ideas, even if the MASC or DESE or something was preventing them. Even if they were great ideas, there were times they just state regulations aren't going to allow it, and that's the end of it. But some of them were very good ideas, and we use some of them. And that's the thing, if I come up with 10 ideas and get one good one, that's a home run. I'll take it. But no, thank you very much. You helped me a lot over the last 2 years grow as a school committee member and learn, and I'm sure you'll do the same for the 3 new ones coming in. We got one in the region. Thank you, Mr. Pierce, for all your service over the years. And you're going to have 2 more in the K-8, so you're going to have your work cut out again on the school committee side to get that up to speed.
Obviously, it took a lot of time putting your side of the puzzle together for this, and
Charlie?
Well, the superintendent, we actually we have the opportunity to speak a lot. He always picks up my calls, and so one of the things that I can honestly say is that I appreciate, the open door policy. He takes advice, he gives advice, and best yet, he's secured enough to tell school committee members that they are going the wrong direction, regardless if they're a junior member or even a senior member like myself. His focus is strictly on the success of the districts. So I think he's the right person for it. He continues to prove me incorrectly because in 2014 I was one of the minority votes in choosing the superintendent, and then we all agreed that he is the right man, but he continues to prove me incorrect year after year. So I appreciate that. But the thing is, you are the right person for the role, and I think us extending your contract kind of express how loyal we are also to you because we can see the great work. But the thing that's amazing, and I'm sure we all heard it, is 10 of us had to do this process, and we all ranked him pretty much the same. So it pretty explains that you're doing an excellent job. But I also like that even yourself, you'll say, I still have more to go, and I think that's what makes you grow. But I also appreciate how you have built a culture where you are working closely with your administration. You are now, the thing that I appreciate the most, I see you delegating more to your administration, which I think is great because it gives you more time to do strategic and things that we really need you to do. So I know I had this conversation with you the other day. I couldn't ask for a better superintendent to be with us right now. So.
Thank you. Mr. Burnett, you said it, and as you were reading Mr. Fitzmaker's comments and I was going through them, I know this is my evaluation, but this would not be possible without people sitting beside me, and we're so fortunate to have incredible principals, assistant principals, and we all know our teachers are amazing as well. And, just the whole structure that we have here, it makes the job so much easier because of people we have working with me and for the district.
If you guys don't mind, first, as one of the members of Schoonover's leadership team, I love it when you guys talked about building the leadership team because that really does steer our ship and our plane. But again, he does that with the no policy. Coming into a new district during this crazy time was a huge challenge, and all of the administrative team, especially Jackie, open anytime you have a question, or even if it's just a vent or run something by you, and just like Victor said, you don't even always have to agree. Sometimes people are like, well, I go in this way, and he offers insight in a very supportive measure. So appreciate that you've got such great grace there also.
I went back to my 2017 evaluation, and I think one thread that comes through here is that your data-driven decision-making has caught up in this district. I was around beforehand, and I didn't see it as much to that degree. I think that your approach, your commitment to continuous improvement and using data to make those decisions, we saw it in real time when we were having Zoom meetings trying to figure out what was going to happen. And Principal Grouchford was doing another survey of families to figure out how we need to pivot. So I think a lot of that has been said in your leadership. And the pieces that I went through the other evaluations where I think we've actually improved in communication. A couple of years ago, you could use more communication. I remarked on your text to us when there was something about to happen, and we learned it. So I think that was improving something. So I think you've modeled acquaintance here, and I think we're very lucky.
So as a student that grew up under this university, rain, yeah, sure, yeah. I couldn't have asked for a better superintendent. I know he's really friendly outside of school, is always such a kind person to be around, always makes you smile. And like you said, at my high school, I was under that, it's just his leadership, so.
Transformation. Can I comment again? One thing I really liked about your reaction was the first thing you did was be proud of everybody else. And you can see how much they enjoy working with you, Taro, Miss Ashton, Robin. It's important that you give credit to them. Because I know when the director or manager I have doesn't give credit out, and someone's worked hard on something, you just feel so defeated. You're always so quick to credit your building principals, custodial staff, anybody who deserves the credit, you immediately share. That's something I really, really appreciate. You just showed that in that.
If I could just say, I haven't had time to go through all these comments, but I can see that you all spent a good deal of time really reflecting on this and providing this feedback. So I will read this carefully and take, absorb the information that you provided here, so we can build into, once we establish next year's goals, and start to work on that process. Thank you.
Our question, do we have to vote this at all into the record or not? No.
All right, next up we have approved superintendent's graduate program of study. And in your packet, we just had an outline of the study that is safety. And it's consistent with management's contract with for tuition fees, with contract with them. And I think that the request is to support the program, which may be a multi-year program rather than a back-year. So, that being the case, is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to adopt the Somerset School Committee to approve the superintendent's graduate program of study. Second. Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, thank you.
On behalf of the Somerset School Committee, I will entertain a motion to approve the superintendent's graduate program of study.
So moved.
Second.
A motion made by Ms. Berry, seconded by Mr. Goff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, everyone.
And next we have here is approval of the Director of Special Education contract for Megan Ashton. I would entertain a motion to adopt the Somerset School Committee to approve the contract for employment of Megan Ashton for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2027. Second. Motion is second. Any discussion?
Fence maker, I want to make a quick comment about Meg Ashton. I've been on this committee for a very long time, as Mr. Gore pointed out.
Only the last couple terms I pointed out.
But one of the things, I have worked with many special ed directors for the last 16 years. And something that maybe many people don't know, this is actually the very first time I'm actually going to renew a contract. I think the work you're doing is incredible. I think we lucked out having you here, and I think by the contract we gave you with the term, the years and all that, we're really committed to you, just like we were, as I mentioned to Mr. Schoonover. I think you're doing a great job. I love when even just after the show of the show choir show, the chorus, a parent was waiting, and she called me over and she said, she helped my grandson out, without, so I just want you to know you are making a difference between even bringing kids back. So kudos to you and thank you for what you're doing for us.
Ms. Ashton, I think you're doing a great job as well. However, I am a no-vote tonight because I don't agree with the years. So, but I do agree with a lot of things Mr. Machado said, even though I don't have his years of experience. I think you're doing a great job bringing kids back in the district. I was in favor of 3-year contracts, so I am no vote, but I am a big supporter of yours.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I will entertain a motion on behalf of Somerset School Committee to approve the contract of employment with Megan Ashton for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2027.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Ms. Gary, seconded by Mr. Gaudet. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Opposed. 4 to 1. Thank you.
Glad to have you on. Next up, we have approval of Director of Business and Finance contract, which you have a chance to look at. And entertain a motion on behalf of the Somerset Berkeley Regional School Committee to approve the contract with Frank Ronald for the period of July 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2024, with one mutually agreed upon option to extend the contract from October 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Motion second, discussion.
I'm going to just mention the same, pretty much the same thing. You know, again, it seems like you're going above and beyond. And one thing about Mr. Taro that I always get heartbroken because I don't think anyone is as tough on him as he is on himself. He, you know, when there's something that wasn't perfect, I can see it in his expression. I can see that, you know, he hates not being prepared. The man's running 2 districts, 2 budgets, you know, retirements, all of these things. I'm really happy that we're getting you some support to help you because I think it's definitely a 2-man job, but you go above and beyond. And what's that?
2-person.
What did I say?
Man.
Oh, 2-person. Sorry. Oh, I think social media that I'm going to hear now. But honestly, you're doing a great. You know, I can't say enough. I think you came in when we needed you and you took it to the next level. And I can always see that even there are other things that you want to implement, and I have a feeling you'll get it to in the next couple of years. So.
Sure. I've had the opportunity to work with Mr. Taro with the budget process, and he's a terrific person to work with. He's always very dedicated to getting emails from us at 10 o'clock Sunday night or something like that. We were trying to get off of that program, but we got it. So I've really enjoyed it.
Teaching all the new tricks.
And I'm glad to see on the tail end of your contract, you're going to say, publishing. Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Before we have our vote, I just want to say that, you know, this is my fault, but I will miss him dearly because we're 2 Rhode Islanders at heart. Having been brought up in Providence. See, Rhode Island's small, we do so many people, same people, but we have a lot of good conversations about what's going on in the state. So I will miss you, but that's my fault. So. Having said that, I will entertain a motion on behalf of Somerset School Committee to approve the contract of employment with Ronald Taro for the period of July 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2024, with one mutual option to extend the contract from October 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Second. The motion made by Ms. Gary, seconded by Mr. Gaudet. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 5-0. Thank you.
And the next item I'm going to step out of the room is abundance of caution. Cares of the conflict. So, Ms. Andrews will take my spot.
No, you can go.
So next on the agenda, we have the vote for the REITs Collaborative Reason for and limit of the capital reserve fund.
questions, I can entertain a motion on behalf of the.
I did have a question. I could raise it during discussion after, if you want a motion, but I'm curious as to how much of the 4 million we're on the hook for.
It's, the plan is to fund this in two ways. One, through the regular budgeting process, sort of the way that this, the regional school district might fund OPEB and putting some amount in there, and also using some surplus, if there's surplus at the end of the year. So that's really the way that the fund will be funded. So it's hard to say exactly how much is going to going from the Somerset Berkeley or Somerset. And for us, it's really just it's our tuition that we pay to these.
How many students does the regional school district have in these classes?
Just the region side,
Yes.
may only have one on the region side right now. One possible two.
There hasn't been a discussion about percentage, because I had an interesting conversation with Mrs. Alvarez about how they're funding their OPEB, which I thought was terrific. Basically, they're putting in a specific percentage of their budget into OPEB. They're building pretty good balance in their account. So, and I just wondered if they might consider doing the same kind of thing to reach $4 million. They're looking to undertake a lot of this work in the reasonably near future, so they're going to raise $4 million in tax.
I don't know if it helps you to know that I do find that these programs to be a strong program. So I know we may not necessarily at that high school level right now have a lot of students there, but it is a program that I do feel comfortable recommending when I meet with families and their new building, I went for a tour. So I want that, and I know our number may not be high necessarily right now, the students we have placed there, but it is one that I would feel confident recommending.
No, I didn't mean to suggest, I believe the program is very strong as well. That's not the issue.
In order for you to follow up that, so there are 18 school districts, correct, that contribute to this?
Yes.
That's correct.
There are 18 member districts.
Yeah.
So I think I had a similar question. So from the video, it sounded like there was 1.3 in the account already.
Just, 1.2, 1.3.
In hot, so that was funded over time with excess funds of the year.
Yes.
That's the plan for the rest of them.
And as Mr. Pierce also said, determining the method, the amount hasn't been voted on yet by the board, but as Mr. Pierce said, the OPEB is a certain percentage of the overall operating budget. So whether it follows the same model or whether it is a fixed amount, $50,000, etc., that hasn't been determined yet.
So the tuition could go up based on that.
It could, yes. I mean, the fund, right, if the operating budget is going to increase, then obviously that the revenue is tuition.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion on behalf of the Somerset Berkeley Regional School Committee to approve the reasons for the REIT's collaborative reserve fund, maintenance and improvement of REIT's properties and leased properties, provide funding for payment of the lease for REIT's Academy Public Day School location during periods of time when enrollment is below expectations, and prepare to purchase the location of the Academy Public Day School to eliminate the expense of a lease beyond 10 years, and to approve the limit of $4 million as the amount that may be held in the capital reserve fund. So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Next, Rich.
I will entertain a motion on behalf of the Somerset School Committee to approve the reasons for the REIT's Collaborative Reserve Fund, maintenance and improvement of REIT's properties and leased properties, provide provide funding for payment of the lease for Reed's Academy Public Day School location during periods of time when enrollment is below expectations. Prepared to purchase the location of the Academy Public Day School to eliminate the expense of a lease beyond 10 years. And also to approve the limit of $4 million as the amount that may be held in the capital reserve,
So
the
moved.
fund reserve. Motion made by Ms. Gary,
Second.
second by Mr. Gore. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay, 5-0.
So he scores. 5-0, calls it like that.
The matters there, Mr. Investigator?
Sorry. Other matters? So we have the minutes of prior meeting minutes for the joint open session of February 15, 2022, and executive session minutes of February 15, 2022. So these were in your packet. I would entertain a motion to have the 757 Berkeley Regional School Committee to accept the joint open, because the joint open and joint executive session minutes of February 15, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion?
Yes, on the executive session minutes, on the second page, it says 2021 executive session minutes, it says, Mr. Pearson entertained a motion. I don't think that's it. I think I probably made a motion.
So should we remove that motion to accept it and then move again to accept it as amended?
I think it's just a minor editorial change, so there's agreement that we can make that change.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll do with that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
And I will entertain a motion on behalf of Somerset School Committee to accept the joint open, joint executive session minutes of February 15, 2022 as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Gary, second by Mr. Masato. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Okay. Public.
I have some public input. It's not on the agenda, so I'll do it this way. I asked that Robin write a citation this last meeting with Michael and Chris, and I thought it was appropriate because we both served on the region at some point. So I'll read this into the record. At the meeting of the Somerset School Committee on March 17, 2022, a citation was prepared, signed by members of the committee, and voted and inscribed in the permanent records. Whereas Michael McDonald served as a respected member of the Somerset School Committee for the past 3 years, having served as vice chair, chair, and as a valued member of the capital planning facilities, policy, sick bank, superintendent's goals, and collective bargaining subcommittees, as well as the middle school building committee. He also served for 2 years as one of the committee's representatives on the regional school committee. And whereas he conscientiously performed the duties of a school committee member on behalf of the students and staff of the Somerset Public Schools, Mr. McDonald was instrumental at keeping the committee on task while providing a calm, steady voice during difficult situations. And whereas Mr. McDonald always put the needs of the students and staff first and foremost, and he will always be a staunch supporter of the Somerset Public Schools. And be it hereby resolved that the members of the Somerset School Committee commend Michael McDonald in the official minutes recorded this expression of appreciation and gratitude to an honored member of the school committee, and extended best wishes on all of his future endeavors.
Thank you. I just want to say a comment. I mean, I just want to thank, these joint meetings have been fantastic. The regional school committee, great work. You're all in it for the kids. And, superintendent, it's just been a great 3 years for me. I just learned so much from each and every one of you. And if I could, I'm also going to say to Mr. Pierce, I know this is one of your last meetings with us. And I just want to thank you for all your years of service dating back to whether you were a town moderator, leading into the interim, leading into the high school, the regional high school, not to mention the building committee. It's been so many years of your lifetime. So I've learned so much from you and your dedication. So I just want to thank each and every one of you. You'll see me around once in a while. So. But thank you. Gaudette. Whereas Christopher Gaudette served as a respected member of the Somerset School Committee for the past 3 years, having served as vice chair and chair, as a valued member of the Capital Planning Facilities and Collective Bargaining Subcommittee, as well as the Middle School Building Committee. And whereas he conscientiously performed the duties of a school committee member on behalf of the students and staff of Somerset Public Schools. Mr. Gaudette brought perspective to the committee, having served on Somerset's Advisory and Finance Committee. And whereas Mr. Gaudette consistently asked thoughtful questions and offered practical solutions to the issues at hand, while always having the students and staff's best interest in mind. And be it hereby resolved that the members of the Somerset School Committee commend Christopher Gaudette in the official minutes recording this expression of appreciation and gratitude to an ardent member of the school committee and extending best wishes on all his future endeavors.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. It's been a long 3 years. It was a challenging 3 years, but it's nice to work with all of you and start to see your own. It's nice to finish the last 2 school committee meetings, seeing everybody's faces, because we've done that for a couple of years. So I learned a lot. It's a lot different than A&M, as several of us work in attest to. It's a lot more meetings, and but it was good. I learned a lot, and it was fun. It was really fun. So thank you.
And on that note, I will entertain a motion for the Somerset School Committee to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Gary, seconded by Mr. Machado. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Thank you.